Welcome back to Mind the Gap. The end of one year and the start of another often bring reflection and the urge to set goals for the future. As 2025 approaches, many of us think about what we want to achieve in the months ahead. Goals are framed, resolutions are written, and we feel the spark of possibility for a moment. But here's a question worth asking. Are the goals we set ours? Are they significant, or do someone else's expectations shape them? Even noble goals, the ones that seem worthwhile and virtuous, can sometimes be traps. They might look good on the surface, but without a personal connection, they can leave us frustrated and unfulfilled. Today, I want to examine the concepts of the noble goal through a more critical lens. While noble goals are often seen as aspirational, they can also become barriers when they lack personal resonance or are imposed on us by others. Robert Kegan's groundbreaking work on immunity to change provides valuable insights, helping us understand why even our most well-intentioned goals can fall short. Let's start by revisiting the idea of a noble goal. Traditionally, a noble goal aligns with your values, challenges you to grow, and connects to a larger purpose. It's about striving for something greater than yourself, something meaningful. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, captures the essence of this idea beautifully.
No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me you desire a fig, I will answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen.
A noble goal requires patience and effort. It's not about instant gratification or quick wins. Instead, it's about committing to a process, a journey of growth and transformation. But here's the problem. Not all noble goals are created equal. Some can hinder us. Consider goals that are imposed by other people. These noble goals look virtuous on paper, but don't truly resonate with us. Maybe your boss has set a goal for you to become a better team player, or your family has encouraged you to be more ambitious. While these goals might have value in theory, they can feel hollow if they don't connect with your sense of purpose. Robert Kegan's work offers a critical perspective here. In Immunity to Change, his book, Kegan explains that we often fail to achieve our goals not because we lack willpower, but because we work against hidden commitments. These hidden commitments reflect deep-seated fears, assumptions, and competing values that keep us stuck. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone is told their noble goal should be to be more assertive. On the surface, this seems like a reasonable and achievable aim. But what if they've a hidden belief that being assertive will make them seem aggressive or unlikable? That belief creates a barrier, an immunity to change, making the goal almost impossible to achieve. This is where noble goals can become problematic. When they're imposed by someone else, or when they conflict with our deeper fears and values, they lose their power to inspire. Instead, they become sources of frustration or even resentment. The Stoics remind us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations,
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
for a goal to be truly noble, it must reflect your values and priorities. It must be something you choose, not chosen for you. There's another danger with noble goals. They can sometimes be too abstract. Goals like make the world a better place or become the best version of myself are inspiring, but lack actionable steps. Without clarity, these goals can feel overwhelming and unattainable. A grounded approach might look like this. Instead of saying, I'll make the world a better place, you might say, I'll volunteer at my local food bank once a month. Instead of, I'll become the best version of myself, you might say, I'll focus on developing my listening skills to strengthen my relationships. Breaking a goal into smaller, actionable steps doesn't diminish its value. It makes it achievable. As Lao Tzu famously said,
"A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step."
now let's talk about skin in the game. We must feel personally invested for a goal to inspire and motivate us truly. This means taking ownership of the goal and connecting it to something that matters deeply to us. Here's where Robert Kegan's framework becomes incredibly useful. Kegan encourages us to examine our goals critically, asking questions like, what's the real motivation behind the goal? Who benefits from this goal? Me or someone else? What hidden fears or assumptions might be holding me back? These questions force us to confront the gap between what we say we want and what we're willing to do to get it. For example, imagine a professional who aims to improve work-life balance. It's a noble goal on the surface. But what if they secretly fear that setting boundaries at work might make them seem less dedicated? That hidden fear creates a competing commitment. They want balance, but they also want to maintain their reputation. Until they address that fear, the goal remains out of reach. The Stoics would argue that this is a question of priorities. Epictetus reminds us,
Man is not worried by real problems so much as his imagined anxieties about real problems.
we sabotage our goals when we allow imagined anxieties or hidden fears to dictate our actions. The key is bringing those fears into the light and examining them honestly and with courage. Let's also acknowledge that some goals, even noble ones, simply don't fit. They might align with society's expectations or someone else's definition of success, but don't reflect who we really are. And that's okay. Not every goal is worth pursuing. The Stoics teach us to focus on what truly matters. Seneca wrote,
The greatest hindrance to living is expectancy, which depends on tomorrow and wastes today.
if your goal feels more like a burden than an inspiration, it's worth revisiting. Perhaps it's not as noble as it seems. Let me share a few examples to illustrate this. Take the issue of leadership. Saying I want to be the best leader in my organization is ambitious, but vague and challenging to measure. A more grounded version might be, I want to create an environment where my team feel valued and supported. This goal is not only actionable, but also deeply connected to maybe your own values. Or consider the realm of social impact. Saying I want to solve climate change is overwhelming. Saying I want to recycle more is trivial. But saying I want to advocate for sustainable practices in my community and reduce my own carbon footprint strikes something of a balance. It's specific, actionable, and meaningful. As we approach 2025, I encourage you to reflect on your goals for the new year. Are they truly yours, or have they been imposed by someone else? Do they inspire you, or do they feel like obligations? More importantly, do they challenge you to grow into the person you want to be? Here's a thought experiment inspired by Kegan's work. Take one of your goals for the new year and ask yourself, what hidden fears or assumptions might be holding me back? How can I reshape this goal to make it more personally meaningful? And what small, actionable steps can I take to move forward? Can you do anything in the next 4 hours, the next 4 days, and the next 4 weeks? And if you discover that a goal isn't truly yours, give yourself permission to let it go. Let me leave you with one final thought from Seneca.
It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult.
So this year, dare to set goals that inspire you, not because they're expected, but because they reflect who you truly are. And mind the gap.
You've been listening to Mind the Gap with Michael Comyn. Today's episode, The Noble Trap, Rethinking Goals That Aren't Truly Ours, challenged us to reevaluate the goals we set as we approach the new year, reminding us to aim for aspirations that truly resonate with who we are. If this conversation inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Mind the Gap on your favorite podcast platform. Share this episode with friends, colleagues, or anyone who might be rethinking their own goals for 2025. And remember, every listen and share helps us grow this community of thinkers, dreamers, and doers.